Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Art is never finished, only abandoned. Learning never exhausts the mind. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Iron rusts from disuse, stagnant water loses its purity and in cold weather becomes frozen, even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. Water is the driving force of all nature. He who loves practice without theory is like the sailor who boards ship without a rudder and compass and never knows where he may cast. Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Being willing is not enough. We must do. The human foot is a masterpiece of engineering and a work of art. Nature never breaks her own laws. It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. Art is the queen of all sciences, communicating knowledge to all the generations of the world. The knowledge of all things is possible. While I thought that I was learning how to live, I have been learning how to die. As every divided kingdom falls, so every mind divided between many studies confounds and saps itself. The painter tries to capture the beauty of a moment in time that will never come again. Art is the elimination of the unnecessary. He who can copy can do. The deeper the feeling, the greater the pain. It's easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. In rivers, the water that you touch is the last of what has passed and the first of that which comes, so with present time. It is easier to contend with evil at the first than at the last. The smallest feline is a masterpiece. You can have no dominion greater or less than that over yourself. Art is never finished, only abandoned. He who is fixed to a star does not change his mind. The artist sees what others only catch a glimpse of. A beautiful body perishes, but a work of art dies not. Study the science of art. Study the art of science. Develop your senses, especially learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. The spirit desires to remain with its body, because, without the organic instruments of that body, it can neither act, nor feel anything. Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art. I have from an early age abjured the use of meat, and the time will come when men such as I will look upon the murder of animals as they now look upon the murder of men. The human bird shall take his first flight, filling the world with amazement, all writings with his fame, and bringing eternal glory to the nest whence he sprang. Just as food eaten without appetite is a tedious nourishment, so does study without zeal damage the memory by not assimilating what it absorbs. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. There are three classes of people: those who see when they are shown, and those who do not see. The truth of things is the chief nutriment of superior intellects. He who thinks little errs much. Painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt, and poetry is painting that is felt rather than seen. The function of muscle is to pull and not to push, except in the case of the genitals and the tongue. Every obstacle yields to stern resolve. There are two kinds of painters: those who carry the sun in their heads and those who carry umbrellas. Why does the eye see a thing more clearly in dreams than with the imagination being awake? Art is the queen of all sciences, communicating knowledge to all the generations of the world. The moment has no time. I love those who can smile in trouble. A life well used brings happy death. Experience never errs. It is only your judgments that err by promising themselves effects such as are not caused by your experiments. A well-spent day brings happy sleep. The artist must be a philosopher. Our life is made by the death of others. As you cannot do what you want what you can do. Time abides long enough for those who make use of it. Experience never errs. It is only your judgments that err by promising themselves effects such as are not caused by your experiments.